What's good, everybody? This is your boy Fabian coming back at you with another update for the 1K to 100K challenge, man. As y'all can see, I'm kind of working on my branding here, trying to give y'all a new, fresh look as I update you with the information for my community and also for this challenge that I got going on. So right now, man, we got the today's agenda here. As usual, I always cover the account value, what the value of the account looks like, what type of cash we got on hand from this last week, the trading recap for the week. That's basically where I go through some of the trades that panned out this week in the account. And then I do a chart breakdown. We go to the charts, man. Anything that I traded at a loss, we'll go over the charts on what I saw that caused me to get out of the play at a loss. And also any wins. We'll go over some charts where I got some nice probable setups, and we'll take a look at that. Then we'll also go through the charts, man, for some market opportunities, man, some potential setups that I see that could be good for me and you as well. You're welcome to get a entry on some of these setup opportunities that I see. And then we'll go through the watch list for the upcoming week and also the month. And any final thoughts that I might need to share towards the end, man. All right, so with that being said, man, we're going to go ahead and get started. With that being said, man, we'll go ahead and go over the account value. Keep in mind, this is the update for this last week, and also it's the update for the end of the month. This last week was the end of May, as far as the market is concerned. So we're going to break down what it looked like for the end of this month versus the end of last month. Let's see how we did. All right, man, let's go. All right, man. So here we have the account value, man, for the end of the week, the fourth week in May, and also this is the end of month results. So as you can see right now, we got $2,551.78 total value in the account, and we have $1,185 cash on hand. That's how we ended the month. Now, if you've been rocking with me, you know at the end of April, I had a goal of getting this thing to at least 2K by the end of the month. We definitely did that. We actually hit that goal a week ago, but then previous to that, had some downside and it got back under 2K. But we end up bringing it back up with this one special play. Y'all already know RDW went crazy and brought the account value up. But just to give you clarity on how everything looks, man, once again, this is the end of month for May results. This is where we are right now. And I'll go show you last month's end of month results. All right, so this is the end of April right here. So this was our last results for the end of April. And when I did these numbers here, I set a goal of trying to make sure the count hit at least 2K by the end of the month for the month of May. And we definitely did that. $1,221.42, $820 cash on hand, ending in the month of April. But now for the month of May, we are ending with $2,551.78 count value and $1,185.55 cash on hand. Doesn't it feel great to hit your goal and exceed it? Now, once again, if you've been rocking with me, once I hit that 2K, we was going to double down and go from 2 to 4. Let's see if we can make that happen for the end of June. 2 to 4, doubling down. You heard it here, 2 to 4. Let's see how we can make that happen. All right, let's move on to some of the trades I got into this week. All right, so these are some of the trades I got into this week, man. Pretty much the usual suspects, man, the ones that actually got the account up to where it is. Our MU and our NVTS. I've been playing those for about 2-3 weeks now, and they have been great. Definitely got the account up over the 2K. But this last week, I actually took some losses on them. Took some losses on the MU, Took some losses on the NVTS. I jumped in a few plays to try to make up some liquidity, but the momentum was not there. The volume was not there. So they definitely was not doing this week what they did last week. And ultimately, that NVTS is just going down. So I'll show you that on the charts. But that's pretty much what I traded this week, MU and NVTS, good and bad. I actually got a nice sale at the end of Friday for MU. Finally got some of that money back that I lost. But I ended up selling NVTS at a loss also. I jumped in the meta play. Emotions got involved right there. I'm not even gonna lie. It wasn't even no charting involved. I kind of jumped in a play trying to catch some of that momentum because Meta came out with these new tier subscription prices and the stock flew up. So I was trying to catch some of that, but didn't quite work out for me. Kind of got in there too late. That is what happens when you chase. But luckily, I didn't put a lot of money into that. So I only put right there by the open $34. I was just looking to capitalize that 34 probably into 150, but it didn't go that way. I ended up selling it at a loss right there, $2.34. So once again, risk to reward. So low risk. Could have been high reward if I'd have got that 100 plus, but at the same time, low risk. I didn't lose much, $34. All right. So those are my trades for the week, man. Now let's go to the charts. Let's go to the charts, man. First one I go through is NVTS, as I sold at a loss, but I want to chart that and show y'all the levels. When I got in, what I was seeing, and then when I got out, what I saw, and just waiting on the next support system. So to the charts, baby. Let's go. All right, so here is NVTS on the daily chart, daily time frame. All right, basically, what is this? The daily, this candle here is Friday's close, the 29th. But where I was here. I kind of jumped in on this bounce right here. See that wick came down. This was actually an orb play when I jumped in. So it bounced off of that and then it made its way back up. But like I said, I didn't get much out of it, but I did jump in on this bounce here. But then next day, thought we was going to, get a continuation to the upside. But lo and behold, everything just started selling off. It was a slow grind down to the bottom. So once again, this is the 1 hour. This is the daily. I'm gonna move to the 1 hour so we can get a little more granular. All right, so once again, we just moved over to the 1 hour time frame on NVTS. And this box right here is based off of the demand zone for the 1 hour. I have it drawn here. So if I go to any other time frames, you'll still see this box right here, but it might not make sense because it was drawn for the 1 hour time frame. So right here is a demand zone for the 1 hour. And that's what I was noticing here. When price came down, it hit this demand zone. This is the bottom of the demand zone. That's what that little white line I have here to signify that price. And then it bounced and went off. And that's pretty much when I got in. I got in here. And then it came and touched this gap up area, but it didn't clear it, which is also structure. Let me blow that up some, get my words out of the way. This structure right here is the daily previous all-time high. So that's what I got that pink line there for. The daily previous all-time high on the daily time frame. So right now we're on the 1 hour. That's why it's good to label these things so you kind of know what your lines are for and what time frame they actually represent what you're trying to do. So once again, NVTS, we're on the 1 hour right now. I entered here off of this bounce based off of that move, which is the bottom of the demand zone. And then that pink line is structure. It closed above structure. Then the next hour we open and we actually wicked above the previous all-time high, which is on the daily time frame. Then after that, we just start reversing. But I stayed in the play because we came right back down here to the bottom of the demand zone, and we ranged in the bottom of the demand zone. Then Friday, we just broke through. But I was optimistic and held on because of this blue line here, which is my 50 MA. Got a bounce there. I thought we would reverse and go back up. But once we broke through that 50 MA on the 1 hour, I went ahead and cut the play because now that kind of tells me we're going to make our way down here to this next demand zone, which is around 25. So I went ahead and cut the play on NVTS at a loss because I see it going further. Right now, it looks like we closed at 26. But come next week, I think we still might come down here and touch this demand zone at 25. So yeah, that's why I went ahead and got out of the play. That's what I end up selling at a loss in NVTS. All right, let's move over to a winner, RDW. A winner. All right, this is RDW on the daily. Yeah, if y'all remember, if you've been rocking with me, when this thing first started, I identified RDW with this bullish pennant for the breakout. Just kind of give you some clarity on the history right now. We're 2 weeks in right now. So initially we started right here with this breakout, which I missed. We got a retest. And then we got a bounce to the upside. Now this is where I got in at. I got in here. Because when I got wind of it breaking out of the chart, it was up about 1550. In a previous video, I said if it come back down to 1350, I'm going in. So that's why I end up getting in at 1350. And I've been in there ever since. So I am currently riding all these candles here, straight to the upside. Right now, she is up 159% for me. And it was up almost 200% until this pullback. Now with this pullback right here, as y'all can see, I have entries here. During those moves going up, I was also establishing pullback entry levels just in case. None of these have hit, but we finally got the pullback up here. Now, after this pullback, I did enter in another account, a whole nother RDW play. So didn't want to risk any more money in the challenge account for RDW. I'm just letting this one ride. Right now it's up 159%. I have a long leap option out to 2027. So I'm definitely going to hold this one for a minute because there's still huge potential upside on this thing before cashing it out. We haven't even hit the IPO yet. So right now up 150%. After the IPO, man, I think we can easily get 300% out of this thing. Easy. Before I even consider selling it. And like I said, it's a 2027. If I don't need the cash, I'm going to continue to hold. Right now, there's cash on hand for me to enter in other plays to build some more liquidity to grow the account. But if things start slowing down on that front, like I said, selling RDW right now is definitely last resort. Like I said, too much upside right now. We haven't even IPO yet with SpaceX yet. All right, but that's my winner, man. And another winner, not in this account, but if you've been rocking with me, I broke it down earlier this year. And that was ticker symbol HOOD. We're going to go to HOOD next. But yeah, this was my win for RDW, man. Like I said, I end up running another play and another account after this pullback here. Nice pullback. And I like this pullback. Look how long that wick is. Buyer step right back in, and then boom, we closed above this structure right here on Friday. So that just tells me huge upside once again next week, which is the start of a new month, a new day, and a new week. It's going to be phenomenal, man. June is going to be awesome. At least the first 2 weeks anyway. So yeah, next week, Monday, on our way back up to the all-time highs, which is currently 2663, and break that and create a new high. All right, man, let's move to another winner. All right, man, this is Hood, man. Ticker symbol HOOD on the daily. This is another one of my winners, man. This is one I've had on the list. I have it open in another account. It has been down, but just to review why I entered this play, we're going to go back to the monthly time frame. As you can see, nice bull flag on the monthly. February, March, April, May. February, March, April, May. I started talking about this thing in February. I expected it to break out in March. Didn't quite happen. We stayed down. April comes around. We got the breakout. We went all the way up here at 94, at $94. And then buyers stepped back in and knocked us all the way back down. So I did get some money out of this play right here. And I waited for it to come back down, and I jumped in early on one of these supply zones right here, and then it still kept coming back down. So I've been down in it for a minute. I made money from here to here, but then when it pulled back, I got in around here, and then they kept selling off, and I was a trap buyer at that point. But it was 2027 contract, so I didn't too much worry about it because my long thesis was a long leap option because we got all this downside right here on this bull flag, and we're going to end up getting the same thing going back up. So I was willing to endure this little time right here, and now we're here. So this is Friday's candle, and keep in mind the whole thing for Hood is they are hosting the Trump accounts. You know, the Trump accounts is where they invested money for kids from the time they're born up until they're 18. So a lot of people are going to be taking advantage of those accounts. And Robinhood is the front runner for the Trump accounts. So when the Trump accounts went live, boom, Robinhood took off. And once again, right now, you're looking at the monthly candles. So let me go back to the daily. We have been in consolidated because this is why I end up getting in at earlier, and then I end up catching all that downside. So I've been down on Hood enduring all of this. But now we went through all this consolidation, and then we just got our breakout. So that was Thursday, that was Friday. Keep in mind, we are still under the 200 MA. So we're not out of the woods yet, but guess what? She's headed there. She's headed to the 200 MA, which puts us over $103. Just look at this move from Thursday. $74 to 85. Then Friday, $84 to $94. You're doing $10 moves a day. Next $10 move, Monday or Tuesday, back up to the 200. We're either gonna reject or we're gonna power over the 200, come back down and retest it as support and shoot higher. But yeah, this was definitely a winner, man, and it's gonna continue to be a winner long term. We're going into the summer months right now. So if you're not in Hood and you want to get some of that Hood money, at this point, I would just wait until she gets above the 200, do a retest, boom, jump in. If you're in it like me, long leaps, continue to hold, baby. She got so much more to produce. All right, man. So that's it for my wins and losses for the week. Let's go look at some chart opportunities, man. I see some setups that look promising. Hey, one opportunity was actually an opportunity on Friday. I took advantage of that in another account, but it's still going to be some more opportunity this coming week, starting Monday. IBM. All right, man. This is ticker symbol IBM. As you can look at my chart, I got a lot going on, but I'm gonna break everything down because everything is marked out nice and smooth to the point where you can understand where the entry and exit at. All right, so Friday, IBM made a nice move. It made a nice move before that, but Friday was the telltale of all tales. These boxes right here, this red box right here, that's my supply zone. This red box right here, that's my supply zone. This red box right here, that's my supply zone. Supply is where sellers are hanging out at. So we need to make sure that we can knock those sellers off. So that's why those were key levels there. Demand is where the buyers are stepping in at. So these green boxes down here is basically where we took off at. We got buyers in there pushing the price up. But now we got to be able to break through those sellers where we had previous resistance at before. So this candle right here was Thursday. This candle right here was Thursday. So it was no problem bouncing through, powering through this supply zone right here. Got a candle here, it powered through it, but then we got smacked down right here at one of the structure levels and end up knocking it right back down to the supply zone. Then we came back up to retest the supply on Wednesday. We closed above inside the supply zone, but we got a rejection right there, that nice little blue line. That's my 100-day. Then next day, Thursday, we bounced off that 100-day, which is nice. Boom, that pulls us up out of the supply zone again. I mean, we got right here and got out of the supply zone, and next thing you got knocked back down again. So now we back out of the supply zone and we up to a structure level. We closed above that structure level. We wicked up, tapped the 200, and then sellers knocked it back down. But they did not knock it down further enough to get back in this supply zone. So that was a positive there. And then what happens on Friday? Boom, gap up. This is where we are now. Friday, gap up. Strong candle, strong candle. A lot of volume. Look at that volume. Buyer stepped in aggressively. So this is where we are on Friday. Now we're still in a supply area where sellers are in control. But what I like is price closed above this structure point right here. So if we can get a continuation on Monday, bounce off of this structure, shoot higher, get above 302. Get above 302 and close, that pulls us out of the supply zone where sellers are in control. And that's room for another play to go higher. All-time high currently at 324. So we can get a bounce off this structure at 294.78 on Monday, or stay above this, because right now we closed above, which was great on Friday. I'm still in the play from Friday in another account. However, we get above this 302 and get a bounce there, I might run a play in the challenge account on IBM. I have some other opportunities also. Whichever one is going to give me the best setup. But right now, this is definitely a setup. This is an opportunity next week for anybody to play. We just need to get up out of this supply zone right here. Like I said, Friday looked good. We still in the supply zone, but I also like that the green candle closed above this structure right here, 294.78. So long as we stay above there, get some more volume next week, push up out of this supply zone, get back above 302, close candles, boom. We headed to the all-time highs again. So that's at least a $25 move from here to up there. That's money. So that's an opportunity, man. IBM. I gave y'all a chart last week. This was for people with small accounts. This is a low-cost stock, ticker symbol LAC. It is still doing what I talked about on that previous video. So there's still opportunity there. It's still early. Remember, I like this setup because it has the same setup as Redwire, and you can see where Redwire has went. So this thing is going to end up doing the same thing that Redwire done once the setup plays out. So when I talked to you guys about it on the previous video, we was at this red candle right here. See, support bounce off the 200 MA. Last video, that's what we talked about. All right, so look, and keep in mind, this is the daily. So after that day, boom, just days, it continued bouncing off the 200, going higher. Now, my overall thesis is we'll at least get up to this trend line, get a rejection, then go back up. But if you listen to me at the video and you jumped in here, you definitely made some type of money. It's just a slow grind up. But from here, what was that? 486. And now we're at 525, 523. Yeah, there was definitely some money made there if you bought some contracts. If not, if you're waiting on the setup to play out fully, I totally get it. This week, I want to see us get above this structure right here, Monday or Tuesday. Or we could reject this structure and come back down and test the 200 one more time. I think if we do get this rejection off this structure right here, see that candle there, we get that rejection off that structure. Also, we got the 20 MA right there. So you got the structure and you got the 20 MA, that yellow line. So we can get a rejection there and it come back down and test the 200 and then pop back up. If it does that, then I feel comfortable jumping into play at that time. And because that'll end up being your breakout. So once again, that's an opportunity there. Ticker symbol LAC. Look for a rejection at the structure or a rejection at the 20. Come back down again and retest the 200. We get a bounce there. Then we should get momentum above this structure and break out of the trend line heading to the next structure. This is all not going to happen in one day. It's going to be some up and down movements, but overall, new week, new month, new day. Reject structure, reject the 20, come back down, retest the 200. Look how many times we don't test the 200. 1, 2, 3, possible right there, 4. We are creating higher lows. So yeah, that would be a nice smooth setup if I actually wanted to reject the 20, because you got to go lower to go higher. So right now it's been going higher and higher. So now we need to come back, set a new base, and then boom, shoot back up. So small account holders trying to build your account, these premiums are real cheap, real cheap. They so cheap, I would actually buy in the money, deep in the money. Right now, the price is $5.21. If it comes back down here, $5, get you a strike for 5, 2027 expiration. Buy you some contracts, not one contract, buy you some contracts. And then when it run up here and break out and then come back and retest, buy you another 2027 contract in the money, probably a $6 strike. That's how you'll scale just with this small account alone. All right, man, one more opportunity. that you could possibly get into, also another low cost, is BBAI, Big Bear, BBAI. All right, BBAI is another low cost opportunity. I had the privilege of playing this one late last year around September, October. It did wonderful for me. Then it just been on a slow decline. But just looking at the charts, man, I just started seeing it create higher lows, giving me that indication that it's on its way back up. So I actually ran a play in another account. It got up to about 50%. And I went ahead and sold it. I knew it had more potential on the upside, but I was just going in there getting a liquidity grab, trying to, put a little more cash in my pocket, but definitely some huge upsides. All right. So BBAI on the daily. See, I got my notes here. Need to break above structure at 437 and hold. Also, the 100 MA is at 437. Need closed candles above on the daily to go higher. And we did that. That was down here when I created those notes. So I jumped in here. I got all of that. See that? That's my notes. And when I circle back, it followed my notes to the T, and I entered. That blue line is the 100 MA, and that's structure. So we got above structure, and we got above the 100 MA. That was a daily counter. I mean, that thing took off. Now, that counter looks huge, but you got to understand price. So this is not an expensive stock. So just alone right there, that was 426, and then it got up to 494. So not even $4. But on the premium side, because the stock is so cheap, that is an actual big move on increasing value in your premium. So you can make money there with that long candle. And then as you can see next day, we got a gap up. Wick came back down. Sellers brought us down here, but buyers stepped right back in and brought it up. So I'm out of the play now. So what I want to see now for me to get back in, I want to see where the market opens at on Monday. Because once again, this is my 200 MA, so we're still below the 200. So I want to see where the market opens at on Monday. If it comes and tested 200 and gets smacked back down, and if we can get a bounce off of this structure, because see this candle here broke through that structure, and then we gapped up. So we get a rejection off the 200 and come back down. I want to see a bounce off this structure. I don't want to see a breakthrough. So we get a bounce off this structure and then go retest the 200 again. If we can get above the 200 and get a bounce off the 200 and go higher, then I enter another play. Right now, the 200 is at 530 and we closed at 504. So once again, BBAI, another opportunity, long opportunity, cheap contracts, get you a 2027 expiration, play in the money. They're real cheap. Now, if you're trying to be super cheap, yeah, you can go out of the money. But when you play in the money with these cheap things, you're already at your strike price. So the premium is going to grow a lot faster as the stock price goes up. So that's why I say why they're cheap, play in the money. Now, expensive stocks, yeah, you don't want to do in the money or at the money unless you got the money. But with these things right here, you can play at the money, deep in the money. You're not going to spend that much more and still have huge rewards on the other end. All right, man. So those are my stocks for opportunities coming up that you can get an entry in. All right, man. My watch list for next week. All right, man. The watch list for next week, man. On the energy, industrials, and the utilities coming up this week, man, I see a lot of stocks in a bull flag pattern, man. SLB, OKE, NEE, BE. All these stocks are in a bull flag pattern. They should be breaking out sometime this week. I'm gonna pull the charts up on one or two of them just to kind of give you a picture of what I see, but all of them basically have the same setup. Just a matter of identifying your support and resistance levels on when we can get the bounce and break out of the flag. All right, so let's do SLB first on my watch list coming up. All right, man, this is SLB on the daily real quick. Don't want to put too much time in it. All right, so this is my bull flag I got going on right here. So y'all know bull flags, we got that downtrend and then boom, we break out to the upside. All right, so right now I see we are pretty close towards the bottom of this channel. Once again, this is the daily right here. So we either gonna get a bounce off this 50 MA, which is this light blue line right here. As my boy Trap say, you know, leaders respect the 50. They stay above the 50. So that's my line in the sand right there. I also got structure right here. We got structure right here based off this candle right here, which is a previous all-time high, and we got the 50 MA. So either one of these confluences, man, next day candle, we should get a bounce here, and we should start making some upside here. Now, if it's a fake breakout, we'll probably be coming back down here to the 100 because there's nothing stopping us from here to here. Candle-wise, there's nothing stopping us from falling from here to here. So we need to hold this support level here and also hold the 50 MA. But we get a bounce there, boom, these things going back up. So that's one, SLB. So that's when I say these going into the bull flag pattern. Just got to figure out what the bounce is going to be, how long we're going to be in this flag. So right now, this could play out Monday or Tuesday. Once again, these are daily candles, and that was the Friday candle. The Monday candle could come down, hit these, and boom, shoot up. Or it could come down, close here, then Tuesday, bounce, shoot up. So that's one right there, SLB. Put that on your watch list. I got that one for this week. Let's go OKE real quick. All right, man, I really like OKE, man, for the simple fact of it's hitting these demand zones. I mean, this is the Friday candle. This blue line right here is the 100 MA. It broke through the 100 MA, but it came down here to the demand zone. All right, this is the demand zone on OKE, and we got a wick there. Now, it'll be interesting to see how Monday is going to open up, but we already touched that liquidity there in the demand zone. So, boom, that should be a bounce there. If not, it could go deeper into the demand zone and go sideways, but ultimately, I think this is our bounce area for us to go higher. Right now, we closed at 83.94. All-time highs at 96. Nice upside from here. So that's another potential play I'm looking at this week that could have some huge upsides or some quick money going in based on those flags. All right, let's look at NEEE. That's a nice one as well. All right, so what I liked about NEE is this down channel here, and looks like we got a rejection close to the 200. Keep in mind, this was Friday, almost an indecision candle right there. So it'd be nice to see what Monday looks like. We closed here. Could we end up gapping down on the open, bounce off of this 200, and then take off higher? So that one's on the watch list as well, NEEE. But like I said, right now we're approaching that 200. So that's a good sign. That's another day or two movement right there. Could be a nice possible entry. So we can get back up to 98. That's definitely some decent money from 85 back up to 98. Ticker symbol NEEE. All right, man. And BE. So those are the ones that I'm looking for this week, man. Like I said, they all got that bull flag pattern going on. As far as later on in the month, UMAC is booming right now. In the past 2 days, it has took off. So I'm watching that one for a pullback because a lot of buyers stepped in and ran that thing up. It went from 18 to 31. So I'm looking for an entry on that after a pullback. Maybe it comes back to 25 or something like that. So not going to chase it. They in it right now. So UMAC looking at for the month. Ticker symbol RCAT, also looking at that one. This is going back to drones, Trump putting money back into drones. So that's a good company that I'm looking at there. And ASTS, man, that space piece. Looking for an entry sometime this month for that one. So those are my monthly watch lists. And this upcoming week, SLB, OKE, NEE, and BE are on my watch list for the week. All right, man, that's all I got for you guys, man. Once again, this was the end of month update for the challenge account. New goal for the account, go from 2 to 4. We at 2.5 now. By the end of June, we want to see this thing blossom up to 4K and go from there. With the help of these ticker symbols on the watch list, we should get there. Strategic entries, discipline, structure, execution. That's what we own, man. Also, man, I am starting a new segment called Morning Momentum. It's going to drop every morning at 6 a.m. Central Time, man. Just a little quick motivation piece, man. Get your thinking right for the day. Get your mind right for the day. Get your juices flowing, man, so you can start a nice, productive morning momentum. I want y'all to check that out, man. 6 a.m. Central, man, whatever your time zone is. For me, it's dropping at 6 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday. Get your juices flowing for the day. Get your mind rejuvenated. Get you ready to have a prosperous day. Morning momentum. Check me out. All right, man. That's all I got for you guys, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this out with anybody that want to follow the journey. Also, man, leave me some comments, man. I look forward to tapping in with you guys. Leave me some comments, man. If you know any other ticker symbols that I'm overlooking, man, drop them in the chat. Drop them in the comments. I definitely check them out, man. Oh, there's one more. I told this guy that I would go look at it. So let me back up, man, before I end. Walmart. I got the chart Walmart for the family. All right, man. Yeah, I told one of my guys, man, that I definitely give him an update on Walmart. So, this past week, man, Walmart had earnings, price had failed. I did a separate video on Walmart telling people not to touch Walmart until it comes back down and touch that 200 MA. And lo and behold, it actually did that. So we got that bounce right there on Friday, touched the 200. Now, we're still not out of the woods yet for anybody that want to play it, but step one to the process has just been completed. Now we want to see us get back above this structure right here, which is 116.79, 116.79. So we did get the bounce off the 200. Like I said, Walmart does respect the 200 MA. So we got a nice touch there. And then counter close back above the 200. So that's nice. Come Friday. So come Monday, we could open, tap into 200 again. But ultimately, we want to get back above this 116.79. And then we want to see what price does from there. Now, if you just want to go ahead and get an entry here and run a long leap, you can do that. Definitely going to need some time on your hand because right now, don't know what Walmart wants to do for the summertime. If you watch my previous video, this right here was last year, June, July, August, and the beginning of September. It ranged $4 up and down for 3 months. We could end up getting the same thing over here. So that's why I say I want to see price get back above this 116.79 and see what it does from there. But if you want to jump in here because it's at the 20, it's at the 200, and you just want to get the bottom of the barrel and try to ride it up, definitely put some time on the contracts. 1 or 2 month time expiration is not going to do it for Walmart. You're going to need that time. If we get a repeat here, like I said, this was only $4 up, $4 down, $4 up, $4 down for 3 months. And you can swing that, like I said. But if you're looking to get back up here, you're going to need some time. So get you some 2027 contracts, jump in right here. As long as we stay above the 200, you could be ranging up and down in here up on the 120 for about 3 months. And that's what I see. I see from here to 120, 33, get back above 116.79, then we probably range from 116, because that's $4, 116 to 120. But yeah, just wanted to give y'all that Walmart breakdown and update. It actually did what we said it was going to do, and now we're here. So if you play it long. If you swing it, make sure you got great entries, because you're probably not going to get no more than a $4, $5 move at best for the next 2 or 3 months. With space and everything running, nobody's really putting money in Walmart like that. That's just how it's going right now. All right, man. Just want to make sure I got that Walmart update out there, man. Other than that, man, once again, appreciate y'all for tapping in, like, subscribe, share this out with anybody that wants to follow the journey, man. And look forward to seeing you guys in the morning on Morning Momentum. See y'all on the next update. Salute.